expectations. They expect to do more. But they're willing to pay for it. And we're leaving, that's why we have this meeting. We want to make sure everybody understands that they'll pay for anything and everything to get that property looking like your own home, that it's livable, that it's spotless, more or less. Good example, we had one here recently where we did the initial lawn, but there was brush hanging over the side. But before we did the initial lawn, we had a guy go out there and lady in that brush. But anyway, there were some people working there doing some remodeling inside, so we just left. Well, there was some work that could be done, like the brush leaning up against the house. We would have paid for that, and then you go back and we still would have paid you for the full amount for the initial lawn. So there's money there, and we walked away from it, and it was an easy job. Because it was included in with the initial lawn, so therefore you didn't get extra money for it. If you're finding a situation where, I think we had a shed the other day, they said was a lot. No, that was the one that needed to be torn down. If you see a shed out in the back that looks pretty bad, get the report to maybe how much you want to tear the thing down, and we'll get permission to do it. There's money being left on the table, guys. There's money that's being left that we could be earning, but we're just not aware of it, so that's why we want to make you aware of it. But the houses have to look awful good. We had one recently where we could see where there was some brick that had been picked up and stacked along the house, but they deemed this for us. And if we get too many bad reports, we lose our contract, and they let us know that. Those bricks, instead of being just picked up, taken with it, were put up against the house, and that's not the way they want it. They want it taken out of the way. Communicate with Debbie. Communicate that's the key word, because we can get you permission. And in a second, there are things now that used to be considered extra that you had to get permission to do. We just do it as long as we have pictures to back us up. We'll just go ahead and do it and make the extra money for that. What the future holds, well, we've been doing this now for about 20 years, or maybe 22. And things have changed over the years. Like I said, from a company, Freddie Mac, that wanted to watch their piece of business cost the dollars, they're willing to spend the money to get anything done that's extra. So all you have to do is contact Debbie, and I'm going to turn it over, I guess you want to be next, and explain exactly how we go about doing it.
I was hoping we'd have this up here, but he doesn't have it yet, so you can kind of read along with me. But as my dad said, Freddie Mac has made a lot of changes. They now have a management company called Radiant or Home Genius. I think I've referred to them a couple of times because everything comes through them now. It's not really through Freddie Mac. However, some of the top executives of Freddie Mac and Home Steps and Radiant and Home Genius, they're all going out and doing inspections. And then I have to meet with them on a Zoom call once or twice a month and go over all of the inspection fails, why they failed, and what we've done to correct it. A lot of times, we ran into this last week, I had to have those pictures because I have to send those to the top executives at Freddie, showing that we did make the corrections. Like I said, we do get dinged on these. They do count against us. So we're trying to get it out there what now they're expecting, because all of this has changed over the last couple months, and I wasn't even aware of some of it until just recently. So we thought we'd get you guys together and go over it, because it's not fair to you if you don't know what to expect. So, as my dad said, bids on a lot of things are not required anymore. They're going to go off linear feet, cubic yards, square, or square footage. The shed removal is based on square footage. If the pricing comes out that you can't do it for that price, let me know. I can go back to them and request a little bit more. They do allow that. It's not all the time, but they will make some concessions. They don't want us or you to lose money, so they are working with us on that. When you get to a house, if there's an illegal dump, remove it right then. Let me know how many cubic yards there are. Send me a picture. I'll get you a work order for it. Fallen limbs. Fallen limbs are a big thing with them right now. They want all the limbs out of the yard. There again, just do it. Let me know the linear feet or the cubic yards. Let me know both, because I kind of price it out differently to see which way we'll get paid more. But we'll get you a work order for it. If there's any debris in the yard, I've had a couple complaints here recently from realtors that people are just mowing over the trash in the yard. We need to make sure all of that is picked up before we mow, make sure there is no debris in the yard. If there is, note the number of cubic yards, again, take pictures before, after, and of the pile of stuff in the trash bag, trash can, wherever it is, and I will get you a work order, just let me know. The initial lawn, and trim the limbs and, or the trees and shrubs and everything for the initial lawn, just like it was in the past. But if it's excessive, we used to have to bid on it. We don't have to anymore. Just do it. I mean, there again, let me know the number of linear feet, the square footage, what was done. I can get you a work order for it. Make sure you take the pictures because I do have to upload the pictures. When you are cutting the grass, another thing they're hitting on now is edging. They want everything edged, and we are getting dinged on no edging being done. So make sure you do the edging. You know, if you do it the first time, it might take a little bit of time, but if you do it each time you're there, it doesn't take that much time to kind of touch it up. Full gutters. If you get there and the gutters are full, remove them. Remove the debris. Let me know how many linear feet of gutter there was. I can get you a work order for it. It's a little hard for me to tell you what the exact price is because it's based on the pricing in that area. So in one neighborhood, maybe one price, in another neighborhood, it may be a different price. So unless I know the exact address, I can't tell you an exact price. They're usually pretty close, but I can't give you exact.
Cracks in the concrete along with the edging.
Oh, yeah, that was on another one. Yeah,
Oh.
cracks in concrete in the driveway. We need to get those removed. Weed eat them, spray them. We do get paid extra for weed spraying, but not if you're just spraying one little crack. You have to actually spray quite a bit.
Where do we see the prices from?
Yes, me. That's something
Like the
again.
weed spraying, we've been doing it, I have no idea.
You just found out about it.
Yeah, we just found out about it.
I've been doing it for years.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
but like I said though, if it's just one little crack or one little area, it's right around between $25 and $30 per house. But for one little line, you're not gonna pay $25 for you just to do squirt.
Yeah,
So it's gotta be quite a bit. I think I sent you one the other day, it was like a whole garden area that needed to be sprayed. So,
Let me ask a question, when you say spray, what do you do, just spray the weeds in it? You don't talk about it in the driveway, crack in the driveway, and you don't. Do you just spray them, you just leave them to die?
No, you trim them out first,
Yeah.
and then you go back over and
Okay,
spray.
well, in that case, if you have one get long, you gotta scrape it out and you gotta use a Roundup. I did it for $25.
I can try it, and then most of them just say it's no, and then we'll know next time.
Well, you gotta spray it, it takes time, you
Yeah.
gotta spray it. Roundup's not cheap.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Roundup's not cheap.
Right, but if you buy a bottle of it and you use it, a bunch of it at one house, you get paid for it, and go on, you use a little bit here and there.
Yeah. And then are dead trees included in that, all the
Yes.
limbs and all that? If it's a reasonable size, we can just take down if it's completely
If
dead?
it's dead, yes.
And then what, you just want like the radius and the diameter and the,
Yeah.
how
yeah.
tall it was?
Right, because the price is gonna be based on the diameter and the linear foot. And then how big I forget what they call it, the canopy of it is.
Mm.
It's gonna depend on that. And I can usually tell on that by the pictures.
And the edging, that's just part
That's
of the
part,
grass
it
stuff?
always has been, we've just never done it, but they are hitting on it, yeah.
Does the canopy represent the linear foot?
No,
Okay, so when you, like those bushes I'm cutting down in front of Ice location, when you have those, you may have one root, but you have that big, gigantic, 5-yard bush. And as you cut each branch,
yeah.
do you add up those linear feet?
Are you talking about a bush or are you
No,
talking
it's-
about a tree?
I mean, bush is almost big as a tree.
I know, but they're different. They actually have different pricing on it.
Well, it's those bushes, those big gigantic bushes in front of the house that you can't see the house. I mean, they're almost to the roof line.
Yeah, do both and I'll have to look into it, because bushes are a little weird. They usually do just linear foot across. But we've had some that are pretty large, and what they're paying for linear foot across is not enough, so I'll need to go to them and ask them how they want us to invoice for it. So, yeah. go
I'll
ahead
put the
and let
linear
me
foot
know.
in, and then I'll put the yardage in on the
Yeah,
same ground,
yeah.
approximately.
Yeah, just note it when you upload the pictures. But no, the canopy, they're talking about like a tree, a large tree, and then, you know,
Okay.
how large it is, branches and stuff. During a recent Freddie inspection, some of the things that they found and they hit us on is trash under the deck. There's, you know, we have these decks with the trash is not being removed from underneath the decks. Dirty windowsills and ledges. The toilets aren't being cleaned. Now that it's warmer weather out, we can dump water down there and flush them out. I know some of these houses don't have water, and one of the things that they are looking in and considering is when it gets warm for us to automatically dewinterize without getting approval, or without asking if we can dewinterize it. That's gonna take a little bit of work, because we need to see if the water's on, we need to check the winterization to make sure it held pressure, but they are working on just having us do it. Unsecured garage, windows or doors missing, we need to get those boarded. If the door is not locked, we need to put a padlock on it or change the handset if it's that type of lock. Got a lot of missing smoke and CO2 detectors. We need to replace and install those as needed by the city. And I think most city ordinances are like, I think one outside of the bedroom windows and one in the main living area. You guys put up a lot of them. Is that usually what it is for the smoke detectors?
Within 15 foot of the bedroom, so if you got like a house with bedrooms on one side and then way on the other side, then sometimes you have to do two.
Right,
Usually
okay.
it's just one per level,
Okay. And the CO2 detector, I think is just one per level,
except the basement.
except the big, right? Does that include attic? Do most of them have?
No.
I didn't think so. Discoloration, did you have a question?
I thought, it was one per bedroom.
Oh, is
See
it,
it all
your
on
area
top.
might be different?
Yeah, it's a little different in Illinois.
Yeah.
One per floor.
Well, he's
It's a
in
little
Illinois too,
different.
it's just more
It's
west.
15, well, I mean, HUD has
Oh.
different than Illinois, but Illinois is 15 foot of the bedroom, so you can go outside the hallway and cover 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
Unless you got a bedroom on the other side of the house.
And I think what the inspectors are, but they're
I'd be
looking
happy to
for.
put one in every bedroom.
I'd be happy for you.
I'm on board with that.
I think what the inspectors are looking at, or are they there? When it comes time for the house to be sold and what am I looking for? The buyer's inspector will come in, sometimes they'll go by the county, and we may have to put another 1 or 2 in. But Freddie's just wanting to make sure that they are there.
You guys went into, put one up.
Yeah.
This
Can't
goes
have- can't have-
for Indiana and Illinois.
Yes, now you know, it used to just be Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, they had to have approval, not anymore, we're just doing it. Just have to do it. Discoloration's not being reported, need to make sure that you measure everything out and let me know where it is, what has to be done, cut it out, clean it, what caused it. Water in the basement. We're finding some water in the basement. Now that can happen, you know, after you leave, so that's not something we can really control. But if you get there and you find water in the basement, clean it up and let me know. Unsafe structures. We had a couple of sheds and garages that we did and we got approval on to remove. Now, the demolition for those is based on the square footage and the number of cubic yards of debris that it creates. So I'll need to know both of those. It's kind of usually a rough guesstimate. We don't have to have approval from Freddie. I don't have to give them a price and have approval, but the realtor has to say, yes, go ahead and do it. So if you find one, let me know, give me the measurements and I can let the realtor know.
Some of those things you have to have a permit.
Yeah.
So everybody knows.
Yeah, make sure that you follow the city ordinances.
Not all of them.
Yeah. As my dad touched on a little bit ago, Freddie is expecting these properties to be in the best condition that they have been. It used to be, we would just go in there and cut the grass, trim the bushes and the trees, and we would leave. Now they really want us to look and find things that need to be done, do it, and let me know when we get you paid for it.
When they came out with the contract, we deleted one, send it to us because they told us the new contract would be in July and we can help you out, it's not going on. And when we finally got it, it probably hurt us in the corporate office. The amount of money that they were giving us, we couldn't believe. If they'd asked us to estimate how much before we would have estimated a lot less than what it is because of I figured it all paying for most everything. The money's there, and all they want is a really, really nice looking piece of property. So when they go show that, or a realtor shows it, then they can be very proud and hopefully get an offer on it. In the past, we just haven't had this. We've got it now. I just can't believe anybody would not take advantage of it. We're getting rid of something we want to see. Make it look good and smell good. And this is it. And if it costs more than what we're estimating it should cost, let us know. The key there is pictures. The more pictures, you can't have too many. I think Daniel said the other day he had 7 pictures from one house.
Those inspection.
You know, it used to be a camera, you carry a camera. Now you got your phone, you start taking pictures and send it on to us. And we can, that way if we get questioned, we can back it up.
Another thing that they are monitoring is monthly cleans and weekly lawns that are being missed. We can only have a small percentage of, how to say this, we can't have any more than 2% of the houses that we have not having work done for a month. So, does that make sense? So, they will monitor that, and if we if we're missing like 3% of the houses, then they'll send me a list, and I'll have to say why we missed them. I'll have another meeting, I have a Zoom meeting on that. So they're really monitoring that. That's only happened once so far, so we've been lucky on that one. We've been pretty good. Some of their expectations, all houses and yards are to be removed of weeds, debris, sapling, vines, leaves, etc. They're really big on the leaves too. If you get to a house and the fall spruce has been done, the spring spruce has been done, the initial lawn, and there's leaves, if you rake them up, you get paid by the hour on that. Just break them up, let me know how many hours it took, and of course take the pictures. I'll get you a work order for it, just let me know.
Break it slowly.
Yeah. Or if you can mulch them up, just mulch them up, but rake them out and get them mulched up. They're finding leaves in flower beds and up against the fence lines. They want all that removed. Dead grass should be raked and mulched, raked and removed or just mulched up. There's been dead grass up around patios and stuff that needs to be raked out and mulched up and blown out away from there. Low-hanging limbs. If you can walk to a tree and the limb's going to hit you, we need for you to cut those down. Let me know the linear feet and I'll get you a work order on it. Flower beds. They want the flower beds cleaned out and weeded. If there was mulch previously there, put down the mulch. Let me know how many, I can't remember what phase, yards or feet. But let me know and I'll get you a work order. Sidewalks and driveways must be edged. We already discussed that. Remove the weeds from the cracks. Dated air fresheners. Make sure you are replacing the air fresheners and there's a date. I wouldn't let them go any more than maybe 2 months. Clean the toilets. Look for dead bugs or cobwebs. All areas of entrance should be secured with a board, padlock, or hand lock if it's not in an auction or redemption status. Now, when you do it in a redemption rekey, Indiana doesn't have redemption, but we have auction, and it's pretty much the same. We can only do rekey one door, cut the grass, and do a couple of safety issues or tarp the rug and board.
Had a good PCR.
Yeah, I like the PCR in that. Request a power wash on the house if it's needed. There again, we're going to have to coordinate that, get it de-winterized, make sure there's no plumbing repairs that need to be done, make sure the water's on. Need to make repairs or correct any hazards such as faulty steps or dead holes in the ground, dead trees, or low-hanging limbs, which I touched on a little bit ago. For the inside, the floors must be swept, vacuumed, and or mopped each month. If the carpeting cannot be cleaned or is damaged, request that can be removed. If it can be cleaned, let me know, and we can get approval for you to have it cleaned. Now, we have to have a company come in and clean it. You can't rent a rug doctor, you have to have somebody come in and do it. But, let me know, and we can get to work on that. Request a dehumidifier to help with the air circulation and moisture. Most of the work needed can be noted on the PCR. When you do the redemption rekey, if you fill out that PCR on, anything that's needed, if there's discoloration that needs to be removed, handrails need to be installed, the carpet, if the carpet needs to be removed or cleaned, note that all on the PCR. Before I send out the trash out, I look at the PCR and see what needs to be on there, and then I'll let the realtor know. Because if what happens, if you go and do the trash out and you do the clean, and then a couple weeks later, it gets inspected, and they're like, oh, the carpet needs to come out, it's dirty, it should have been removed, we get dinged on that. So we need to kind of be proactive and stay, ahead of it and take care of it. Check for discoloration each time you're at the house. If any's present, take the measurements, let me know. And discoloration, we do have to get approval on that because that is an environmental issue. So I do have to send all the information, all the pictures over to them. They have to prove, because they have to know the record for that asset, because they have to disclose it to the seller. Yeah, this is going to be touchy because some of these are pictures now.
I'm still trying to get it.
Yeah.
It's not yet. Keep checking.
This house here, the fence is dilapidating, it's falling apart, it's missing panels, it's falling over. It's a wood fence. There's bushes and trees growing all over it. All of that should have been removed. Because it doesn't look good, it brings down the value of the house. It just turns out this house is gonna be demolished anyway, but if it wasn't gonna be, then, we would need to take all that out. There's another picture here there's an inspection, the handrail is falling over. It's a wrought iron handrail at the front door. It's fallen over, that should have been secured. Dirty house, we need to find a dirty house, we need to request power washing. And I'm looking at the houses too on your pictures, and if it's dirty, I'm getting the ball rolling on you guys doing the power washing. Shed, there again, there's a shed that was all rusty and not in very good condition. Need to be removed. There's fence panels laying down on the ground that were never removed. We need to go ahead and remove them and let me know. Mismatched or missing light bulbs. If you get to a house and there's mail in the mailbox, take it out and put it on the kitchen counter. Let me know, let the realtor know that there's mail there, and she can make the decision on what she wants to do with it. Along the fence rows, overgrown weeds and saplings, those all need to be cleaned out. Anything that's protruding over the property line needs to be cut. On our property line needs to be cut. I think I touched on this earlier. There's debris in the yard. Like you said earlier, there's one that had bricks that were left. There's paper under the deck. They're looking at all of that. We need to make sure we get all of that stuff, all of it removed. In front of the house, if there's overgrown weeds and bushes, we need to get those cut down or removed. If they're just the saplings, just go ahead and cut them out.
Gas lines.
Oh.
Even if on that Converse property, Letitia, she likes to, I guess, for the sake of the buyer, even though a lot of property buyers just want the house. Sometimes they want the adjoining property next with the house, but then that's the issue there. But she wanted to keep all those bricks and the ponds. I would rip all that out and clean out, but
yeah,
she requested it stay there.
I'm gonna have to send that off to the sales specialist and see what she wants done. That way, if they say, yeah, go ahead and keep it, we're covered.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I thought of that yesterday, because that's gonna come back on it. And it comes back on her too, but it hits us harder. But it will reflect on her inspection grade.
And when you say cover those pools, do you want me to take all the brick, the pool,
No.
the pond out and cover it with like a board or?
Well, she was wanting to keep the pond, so I was thinking just cover it with the board, secure it down somehow. But I'm gonna go back and ask the sales specialist if we should secure it or if we should just remove
I
it.
can take it empty, put it in the garage and
Yeah,
fill the hole.
yeah, but then we still have the hole. I think she's wanting that whole thing left there, but it's a hazard. I mean, if there's a pond there with the water, that's a hazard. If you take the pond out, there's a hole, that's a hazard, so.
In the past, we put caution tape on it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we'll do that too.
yeah, think about that.
That's what the only thing that cans it if it's a very, very large pond. And you don't have the wood to cover it. It would be practical anyway.
Yep.
We have a database that whenever property comes to us, automatically we start getting it ready, typing in all the information we have. Then as we go forward, you guys send in, say, communication, this needs to be done, and go to that particular property, type in the remark section. And then from there, we can send it on to whoever with Freddie Mac, and they'll give us permission to be communicating, made them aware of how to actually put it back in their lap. It's up to them to make the decision on what needs to be done. So you can't give us too much information on this. You're our eyes, and you have to make the decision as to whether there's a question mark or not. If there's a pond, then obviously we have this covered pool, but then we don't have this public the tape around.
Yep. But I think there's water in it, isn't there? Yeah, it's good water. When you get a work order, please start on it right away. If it's going to be late for any reason, let me know. They are tracking work orders, especially the trash outs. One of the items on the meeting is if we have any trash outs that are late, I have to explain why they were late. Usually you guys let me know if they're going to be late, so I know, so I can tell them. We just kind of need to limit that because it does count against us. Because what that does is that holds up the process. Because once we get done with the trash out, the realtor's going to go inspect it, then they're going to start their process. They're going to get the BPO, they're going to see if there are any repairs need to be made. So we don't get the trash out done on time, it just holds up everything. Make sure you process all of the work orders through the through the portal. If you can do it nightly, I would appreciate it. That can be a lot of pictures for me to check every day, especially on Thursday mornings when some people wait till Wednesday night to upload everything. Yeah, it gets to be quite a bit sometimes, especially now that we have to really look at everything and make sure everything's being done correctly. As I said earlier, when in redemption, we can only rekey a secondary door. Or a broken window, just so that the house is secure. We can tarp a roof. We can remove the limbs when we do the initial lawn. You'll need to remove all the limbs, cut all the trees, do all that at that point. When you're doing the final rekey or a complete rekey, if it went directly to sale, make sure that all exterior doors, including the deadbolts, are changed. No plates, don't leave it open, don't put tape over it. Everything has to match. They all have to be the same key code. Dryer vents need to be covered. Some are boarding, and that's okay. They prefer that they be covered with the actual vent covering. But if you board it, that's okay also. Let me know. And well, actually, if you write on the PCR, I'll get your work order when we do the trash out work orders for it. Make sure any crawl space openings are secure. All garage doors and outbuildings. Any openings or missing doors to an outbuilding must be boarded. If it's a service door to a garage, you can do like a makeshift door. You put the hinges on there. We now get paid for hasps also. So if it's hasp and padlock, let me know. It's $10 per hasp plus the $25 for the padlock. So let me know, and sometimes I can see on there, and I'll go ahead and do it. And we'll probably get paid for the hinges too. I've never really looked into it because I only had a couple that we had to do that. Yeah. When you're there, double check that all windows are locked and secured. Secure sliding glass doors, unplug the overhead garage door opener, and padlock the railing. Most of you guys do that. There's a remote for the garage door, put it in the kitchen drawer. I got a call this morning, or not a call, I got an email this morning from a realtor that says she went to a house yesterday and the house was standing wide open, and we had just been at the house. So make sure that you guys or your crews are locking the doors and closing them when they leave. Sometimes you guys will open a window, it's stuffy in there, if it smells, make sure that window is closed and locked before you leave. Take a picture of the keys in the lockbox and the key turned in each lock. Each time you're there, do a thorough inspection of each property and communicate to me if there's any issues. Like you found discoloration, if there's limbs, go ahead and remove them and let me know. Make sure you alternate your key codes, don't use the same key code on every property. Any hazards must be addressed immediately. When out of redemption, you don't have to wait for a work order to do handrails, boardings, or other safety issues. You can just do it and let me know. Tarping the roof, filling a hole. I'm trying to think of some of the safety issues would be filling a hole in the yard, things like that. Just do it.
Handrails.
Handrails.
Broken handles.
Yeah.
Too big on the handrails.
And
One time they wanted a handrail to get out the water, and they wanted to buy on the other side.
yeah,
They still do that.
yeah.
What do you do on broken concrete? A lot of times you get kicked over, the concrete breaks. You can't-
What do we do, Brett? We're messing with one of those now.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. Probably have to bust it up with sledgehammer to get it out of there, but
I think what I'm gonna do is isolate it, put the lock on it, and try to put some caution tape around it, go right in and ask them how they want us to proceed.
They already told me. Yeah, if it can't be, if the concrete that's there cannot be removed and, more put down to smooth it all out, then to break up the concrete and put in some wood steps.
Yeah,
That would be good, yeah. What would that have to be a bid? No, it wouldn't have to be a bid, because, see, I started a little confused sometimes. No, because it's a safety issue, and it was on an inspection and they want it done, so if you can do it with a reasonable price, you might shoot me a price before you do it, but, yeah, we can kind of, we can do it.
what do you think's gonna cost?
I don't even know what Quikrete is nowadays, so.
I would think the labor and breaking that up would cost more than.
Yeah, it'll probably, it's gonna take a few hours busting that, those steps up. So I don't know, to rent
That's why I
a jackhammer or something like that, or
Yeah.
that would probably be the easiest way.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That would be. We just need to make sure we get on it quickly, because they'll be asking me about it. The initial cleaning, you guys know this, you've been doing it long enough. Make sure any debris not attached to the structure is removed. All nails, brackets, picture hangers from walls, curtains and blinds need to go. All debris from the drawers, any debris in outbuildings, crawl space, under decks. Cap any toilets, sewer holes in the bathroom, so if you remove a toilet, make sure you cap the line, or if the toilet's already gone, make sure you cap the line, that does pay extra. Just let me know. Cap any exposed wires, that's included unless it's an excessive amount. They have paid extra, if the whole house needs to have caps on them, they paid extra for that. Install the smoke and CO2 detectors, that pays extra. Replace missing light bulbs and batteries. Replace missing broken switch plates and receptacle covers. Or remove appliances if they can't be cleaned or if they're broken. That, it kind of depends on the realtor. I think most of the realtors in here, they go by what you guys suggest. If it's in really bad shape, take pictures, let me know and remove it, and I'll let the realtor know. If it's iffy, take a picture and let me know, and I'll get with the realtor and see what they want done. When they send over the request for the work order, for the trash out, there's a place on there for them to mark appliances that they should be removed. They very rarely will. So we'll need to kind of go back to them and ask them. Cap the gas lines and water lines if needed. Remove above ground pools, hot tubs, dog houses, and play sets. That is included in your cubic yards for the trash out, unless you have to do extensive work to remove it, like chainsaw, you have to cut it up. Sometimes the play sets are secured into the ground, so you have to cut them off. That can be a bid. And some hot tubs you do have to cut up to get out. That can be a bid also. Remove carpeting if requested by the broker, or if you think it needs to be removed, let me know. This includes all the padding and the tack strip. If you get-
Staples,
Staples.
too?
Yeah, staples too. There again, if it's excessive,
Just make them so you don't catch your foot on them, either pop them up or pound them down, something, just so it's not a trip hazard, that's all.
And some of this is, if it's excessive, we can get more money, but if you go into a house and there's 2 cubic yards, there's a bunch of staples that need to be removed, there's a bunch of caps that need to be, or a bunch of wires that need to be capped, they're not gonna pay extra for that, because you're getting $1,200 for trash out, and there's only, $150 or whatever it is worth of trash that needs to be removed. So there is a line, so we just have to, use your best judgment and ask me.
Take the good with the bad.
Yeah. But it's not so clear like that anymore. They're making allowances for a lot of stuff anymore.
We don't have those.
But we don't want to take advantage of it.
We don't have a bunch of those nice new 2-year-old neighborhood homes anymore either. It's all farm homes that's been lived in for 20 years, full of stuff. We don't have one of these
I
ones.
think what a lot of people during COVID, when they were all housed and they couldn't get out, I think they all collected stuff and hoarded because, oh my gosh, the overage we're getting now. We've had, in Ohio, we've had several that are 200. We had one that's 700 cubic yards. You had a really bad, nasty one. Yeah, and kudos to you because that was one of the ones that was inspected.
I figured it would be because they paid out so much. I figured that it would be.
But the cleaning passed. Nothing was said about the smell in the house or the cleaning, so thank you. That was awesome. That passed with flying colors. I was kind of on that one, because that was 200 cubic yards at least.
So, yeah.
And there was dead animals in there, or had been animals in
Well, they had
there.
every animal you could think of.
And everybody that went in the house, they had to wear masks, and they would get sick being in there. Even the,
They had dogs in the basement.
Yeah.
That was,
yeah, it was bad. Even the one, because if it goes as, if you say there's, I can't remember now if it's 125 or 150 cubic yards. I thought it was 125, Daniel said no, it was 150.
Diana used to say 150, it's
You guys
140.
might know too, sometimes I get myself confused.
So we're allowed up to 150 cubic yards, is that what it is now? Because it was 40 at one
It
time.
was 40.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's 125 now. And they will, we can do it up to 125. We don't have to have
Just the
approval.
Bobby or whatever, I sent one in for like 138 and she said, well, next time, make
Okay.
sure that it's no, because it's
125.
124.
Okay, yeah.
124 is what
If it's over, if it's 125 or over, we have to get pre-approval, and they will send a second company out, someone out to give another estimate and see what they think.
Not to clean it.
Yeah, not to clean it.
Just to get the estimate.
Yeah, just to make sure that we're on track. We've never had an issue so far. They've always come back and said, yes. I take that back, we did have, it was like a 50 cubic yard difference. I mean, who can tell, when there's 300 or 400 cubic yards, who can tell 50 cubic yards difference? But that was the only one that we've had. So yeah, anything over 124, don't do it. Take the pictures, let me know, and your pictures have to show that amount of cubic yards. Because if it doesn't, they will come back and say, this doesn't look like it, and they won't send another person out. But up to that amount, you can just do it, and then let me know the cubic yards, and we'll pay extra. Between 40 and 41 and 124, we'll pay extra. $30 a cubic yard. All exterior debris to be removed as part of the trash out is firewood, limbs, any building materials, yard art, potted plants, fire pits, loose bricks, blocks or stones, bird baths, the windmills, solar lights, Christmas lights.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
There's some things that it's just so heavy, you cannot lift it or get it out of there. I mean, it's either, what am I thinking of, like the big
Pots.
concrete pots, stuff like that.
Note it, and I will go to the sales specialist and say, can we leave it?
Right.
Something like that, they might go.
If I can't move it, it's attached.
Yeah.
It boils down to communication. It has to be enough communication. We used to, when I first started doing this, everything I found that I couldn't do, or there was a question, I made a note and I said, no, I couldn't up with this. And they can't come back on me that way and say, why didn't you do this? No, I didn't, because this is what I did. So communicate. That's what we're going to do. We're going to write any information from your person who makes those decisions.
Do Do not leave debris outside or in the garage. Don't report a job complete until all debris is removed from your property. Check utilities, because there's utilities after, while they're in redemption or auction status, the utilities should not be on. I think some realtors are turning them on and they shouldn't be. But when you get there to do the trash out, if utilities aren't on, let me know. They may have already scheduled them and they just haven't been turned on yet. A lot of the realtors will tell me when they're going to be turned on. I let you guys know that. I've already said that, remove all cobwebs, including outbuildings, sheds, basement, and the porches. Make sure in the basement you're checking the rafters. You know, sometimes I'll get a bid for discoloration removal, and it'll be in the basement, and I'll get pictures, and the rafters are full of cobwebs. I have to send that in to Freddie, and they'll come back and say, why are there cobwebs all over? Well, we'll get that when we do the discoloration removal. But make sure you're checking all that, and those will remove with each clean.
We ran into a lot of houses that had firewood, stacks of firewood outside. We never did haul it out. We contacted a neighbor because they had a fireplace. And made sure that they helped us get out of there. So if that occurs, if you find that somebody's got tons of this, we can get that out. It's easy. It's a lot easier for them to come over and get it than it is for you to walk around. I guess what we're trying to do, and on the water lines too. It looks as though we're going to start saying, okay, as soon as the weather breaks in your particular area, you want to start de-winterizing. You got to be careful when you de-winterize those, because unless you did it, you don't know what that other person was doing. And you don't know whether they can actually fix it or not. We've had situations where the water's been turned back on, and they turn it on too fast. And when you turn it on too fast, you hit that first corner. The copper lines. So be really careful to come out on slowly. I'm hoping they do that. We can winterize it, because then we can use that water to help clean that house. And likewise, if you have to clean, you have to take the exterior of the moss and the green of those on that north side of the building. You can hook up to it if you have a water pressure. So you can hook up to it. So anyway, that's down the road, but it looks like it's coming.
Yeah, and this is, a lot of these houses have plumbing issues and we need to try and fix that. I know Illinois, you have to have a plumber, right? Is that still the law? You have to have a plumber fix it. See if you can't get in with a plumber that can go do the repairs, and we'll have to kind of, case by case, I guess, if we can't find one, we'll see if maybe a repair specialist or a repair contractor can go do it.
I think you're allowed to cap them. You can cap them to an extent,
Yeah,
but you can't do any footage plumbing wise, you know.
okay. Yeah, and I think some of the problems too, I may be wrong, because I'm not a plumber, plumbing is not my strong point, but I think, can't some of the lines be cut and capped so that they'll hold pressure? Is that possible, or?
I find out whether or not the pressure will hold it. The one is out of the claims. That's what I call it. But it's an end line. It's cut, put it on there, you're done, you have to torch it. But that's barely what
It says you can fix freeze damage, breaks, burst lines.
Say it again.
Well,
It actually, Illinois law says
Oh,
you
wow.
can repair the burst lines, you just can't replace a bunch of linear feet.
Okay.
In Indiana, you can't mess with the hot water supply, but you can with the cold.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Make sure you pay special attention to the front entrance, because that's where the buyers will be coming, obviously, they're coming and going from there. Make sure the front porches are swept off, all the windows are clean, there's no cobwebs, wipe areas down around the door. If it's, dirty, just wipe it down when you're there, do the clean. You've got the rags there already, just wipe it off. Now, if it's just an easy fix, if it's something that's really detailed, of course, you can't bid that. Cable wires, I'm seeing a lot of pictures with cable wires strung across the floor. Cut them or roll them up, get them out of the way, because that is a trip hazard, please. Remove the blinds and the curtains, and when you're cleaning, make sure you use appropriate cleaners. Extra care should be taken to clean areas where the appliances were located. So if you remove the refrigerator, make sure you clean that area, or the stove, you need to make sure you clean that area also. Might want to carry a putty knife to kind of get off some of the stuff that's caked onto the floor. Cash for keys. We've had a few of these here lately. It's been a while since we've had any, but they're starting to pick up a little bit. Please include removing the window coverings, brackets, curtain rods, nails, and cable wires when you're there. Anything over 1 cubic yard, don't remove it. You'll have to get approval. And usually when that happens, the realtor is going to be responsible for either going back there and removing it, or they'll have to explain why there is more debris. So they are cracking down on that. You should not be going into properties that have that much cubic yard. We're dealing with that one.
If they're nice blinds, do we still take them down?
Yeah, blinds and stuff still need to come down.
Even nice blinds still come
They're
down?
nice blinds, yeah. They're not real strict on that anymore. They used to be, remove them unless you had approval. You can leave the nice blinds up. Initial ones. Make sure that you show all the gutters have been cleaned. If they have the guards on them, just take a picture of that and let me know. You might even note it in the comments. Do not run the mower over trash. Make sure you trim all shrubs. No bushes or shrubs should be touching the house. They shouldn't be up against the fence. The outbuildings, they should all be trimmed and looking nice. The fence rows should be cleaned up. Cut all saplings down, remove all the vines. They're also big on the vines that are growing. We need to make sure we cut those. If they're attached to the house, just cut them and then wait for them to die and take them off. But you might note that. I think some of you guys do note that in those long rows. You have to remember too, when I ask you guys a question on something, it's kind of hard to tell in the picture if it was done or not. So I kind of, question you. Just let me know, yeah, we did that.
How high do we go on gutters? Because I don't, 10, 15 foot's kind of high, and some of them are, 20, 25 foot high in the air. If I fall,
First floor.
You're talking about what you don't have over here. I don't like it past the first floor. You can see it, where it's leaving all it's clogging it,
Yeah.
then we got a problem, but I don't go to the second floor. You'll find somebody to do it, but there's not any telling them they get up to it.
You want to tell me a second floor gutter
Well,
full,
I'm
you have
not-
your person you climb up to get a picture to show me it's full.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to climb up there either.
Again, make sure you're edging the driveways, walkways, and sidewalks, and weed eat around everything. Everything needs to be weed eaten.
That edging is the problem. I never did edge. You're supposed to, they didn't pay us for it. Now they're paying us a heck of a lot more. And they have no idea. So I've got an edger at home, and all my people turn it to the side. But I'm not sure if they pass that, all that edging or not. Do you guys use, do you?
I use trimmer and real thick string,
Yeah.
the thickest you can buy.
Yeah, you can.
It'll take about 10 minutes.
There's coffee and water. I don't know if we told you that before. If you guys get cold or hot, let me know. Get the door closed. Warm. I needed someone to go out of their area. You've done it. I really appreciate you. You've helped me out a lot. It's been a struggle, and it still is a struggle finding help. No one's really wanting to do this job, or if they are, they're wanting.
If I'm good enough, we got a lot of people that want a job, but just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll do half the job and then stand there, with their hand out waiting for payday. But yeah, I mean, you guys have been with us for several years. I just want to thank you all for sticking by us and going the extra mile. So, all right, we'll jump back into this. In the initial one, needs to be done in 3 days. Make sure you don't discharge cut grass onto the house, driveway, walkway, or the neighbors. The neighbors will call and complain. I've had a few of those. you have to remove part of the fence or a gate to get the mower in the yard, put it back before you leave. Touched on this earlier, please make sure you upload your pictures daily. Don't wait till Wednesday night. This overloads me, and it's a lot of work to get it all done, so that I can do what needs to be done, because after I get done checking everything, then I have to do the invoicing so I can invoice Freddie so that we can all get paid. The weekly lawn maintenance, make sure, unless it's raining, make sure that you're cutting on the same day each week. Please do not miss a week. If you have to miss a week because of the rain, don't miss 2 weeks. The grass grows extremely high, it'll get inspected, and then we'll all be in trouble. I'll hear about it. Make sure you're taking care of the leaves on an ongoing basis during the season. Don't forget flower beds and shrubs. Trimming should also be done on an ongoing basis. Check property each mow for emergency issues to ensure all windows and doors are still secure. This is new. We just heard about this not too long ago. During the winter months, we will still be doing weekly exterior maintenance. I will still be sending out a list on Fridays. It'll still be called the weekly mow list, lawn, whatever we call it now. But of course, you're not expected to mow. But you will be required to go to the house, take pictures, make sure everything is secure, make sure nothing's happened in the last week, there's no limbs, there's no leaves. If you get there and it's been snowing and you have to remove the snow, that pays extra. So you'll get paid for going there, and then you get paid for the snow removal. If you go there and a window needs to be boarded, board the window, you'll get paid for that, and you'll get paid for going there. So they're going to continue that through the week. They were finding that when we would go, if you notice, we're not doing monthly cleans every 6 weeks now, we're doing them every 30 days. They decided every 6 weeks was too long of a span for us to be there. They put it down to 30 days, and I think they're thinking that's still too long of a span. They want someone there every week to check things. The realtors are there. They don't do what we do, so they don't always know what to look for. So they want us to go in there, taking pictures, making sure everything is okay. You'll need to upload the pictures to me, but we'll still be going there every week during the winter.
We still need to have backyard pictures, don't just drive by and take pictures side, front, side, and keep on driving. You're getting paid, at least walk around the house real quick,
Safeguard pays $10.
What is it, $10?
We used to pay $10.
Oh, the inspection?
That's if you got out and walked around.
Yeah.
You just drove by and it's $5.
I remember those, and there was something that was $8.
Not a bad. I
Yeah.
never did it.
That was a long time ago.
It was.
And the pay for this is the same as if you're mowing the grass. It's still, what, 60?
Yeah, it's
$60.
another thing too. It's inevitable. You don't get the lawn looking really nice, you can all of those left and go around, they got all the neighbors just go around outside. That's just a common problem. Get back with us and tell us, we'll get permission to remove it. Please,
We don't need permission, just do it.
to do it a second time? Oh, good.
As long as we have pictures from the week before where we did it, and there's nothing there, then the next week it's covered again, they can tell.
So we're getting $60 to go there and inspect it, and then extra to fix anything that's wrong?
There's a fine line. If there's a couple pieces of trash in the yard, they're not gonna pay for that.
Right.
If there's a couple limbs in the yard, little limbs, they're not gonna pay for that.
Sure.
Yeah, twigs. So, I mean, just,
But we're getting the same as a mow,
Yeah.
and we don't have to mow.
You're basically mowing all winter, you're just not taking your mower with you, but you're still checking the same things.
That sounds like a win-win.
Doesn't it though?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we
On
don't,
Halloween.
I don't wanna take advantage of it, and then they take it away from us.
Yeah.
So,
Just be honest about it.
If they want us there every week, I'll say we can take advantage of it. We go
There's
for
the leaves, and if you want to cover it, do it for free.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's make sure you're backing yourself up with pictures. And dated pictures.
dated and time stamped. starting to get some that aren't paid at the timestamp, so we need to
Hold on,
watch that.
timestamped? Okay.
Been that way for several years, so.
Nobody's ever told me. They don't know how long I was
A few
at the house.
times.
They just didn't know I was there that day. You guys still using cameras, or who you guys switched over to cell phones for your pictures? Yeah.
Phone, I can't find a camera nowadays, it's got the timestamp on it, so it's just date stamp on cameras.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
You have to be able to load the app out of
I don't know why to make it small.
Yeah, your pictures are huge.
I
I
wasn't
have to do
sure.
anything with them, I have to go in and resize them.
I still use the camera, but my thing, yeah, is that when my phone go dead or I use it too much, and with the camera, I did go down and I spent about an extra $20 this time and got one that was waterproof, because if it's waterproof, it's dustproof. And it's the mowing dust that tears my cameras up. The thing's sliding in and out, when you turn it on and off, and it gets the dust in there. And this one was like $140 on Amazon, came the next day, it's a Kodak, it's really nice. But I really like it, I can work a lot faster than I can with the phone. I was just kind of curious. I know a lot of the younger people, they won't even use cameras, that's the only people who do it.
I like the
It's a
app.
camera.
Exactly.
I do like the app on the phone. I mean, it's free.
Yeah.
I can remember taking pictures and having them develop phone reads and send them off through Airborne Express.
Merge them.
All of
Yeah,
that
we used to-
crap.
You sent them on digital whenever I first started.
Well, with HUD, because you were HUD, weren't you? We had to merge them. I remember doing that. Whew.
Terrible.
Yeah. The de-winterization, winterizations, well, winterizations are rather. De-winterization should be done in 24 hours. Because usually it's because they're wanting to start repairs or because there's gonna be inspections. Can't get it done just in that time, let me know and I can let the road know, but you can reschedule it. If there's any issues with the de-winterization, let me know. Make sure you fill out the de-winterization checklist and send it in and make any notes on there. So I can report that back to the realtor. The electricity is on, leave the breakers on. If the electricity is not on yet, leave the breakers off. That is through the summer months. Of course, when we de-winterize in the winter months, we can't de-winterize if the heat's not on, so we're in the summer. Y'all know where to send in pictures. We're getting a little lax on pictures. We need more pictures, please. And we need to make sure they're clear and they're not blurry and they're bright enough so we can see what's going on. You know, a lot of these pictures I have to send over to Freddie, and if they're blurry, it doesn't look good. You might want to check them before you send them over. Each work order needs the 5 required pictures. I think this is in your procedure manual, everything you see our procedure manual. We need the address, the front of the house from the street, exterior pictures, a lock box, and the emergency contact sign in the window. And then for your pictures on the outside, make sure you go to all 4 corners, around the back, taking from the back and the front to the house, and then from the house to the back. There's been times I've had a report of a shed or a garage. I didn't know there was one. I looked through all the pictures. There's not a shed or garage in the picture, so I need to know that it's there, so I'll know what they're talking about when they come back to me about an issue. So just make sure you're taking, lots of pictures. Monthly clean and initial cleans. Every room needs to have a picture, a couple pictures in each room. The toilets showing that they're clean. Now that the weather is warm, we need to flush out the toilets, make sure they're all clean. Basements, we need pictures of the basements and the attics and just the closets. We need pictures of everything. We need to see that everything is done. In case there's a question or it fails an inspection, I can go back and say, well, that was taken care of at this point. Anyway, just make sure you take lots of pictures. Same thing with the outside, pictures from all around. It really helps us if we got hit on a Ohio property, there was a tote in the yard. I wasn't there the last time, when I had pictures showing, luckily that it wasn't there. It still counts against us, but at least I can say it wasn't there, so we just remove it. That's not a big deal, something like that, if I can prove that it wasn't there, they're pretty lenient with that. but I have to be able to prove that wasn't there. So, yeah, if you could take care of that, that would be great. Make sure you take all of those pictures. And it seems like there was something else.
One of the areas that they've been hitting is also, seems as though when a realtor goes out to show a home, if we have a fence around the back and we've put a lock on it, they'll take the key out of the lockbox and they'll go around and open, because people want to see the backyard. They'll open it up, but then they never put the lock back on it, or they don't want to carry the key back around. So make sure that you get pictures of the lock on the gate, and then a lock, that same lock, I should say the same key, and then the lockbox. So that when they come back to us and say, hey, you didn't secure the backyard, well, we did, here's the key, here's the picture for it. So little things like that that come across it's menial, but at the same token, it's important with the lock, especially if there's a pool, it's important that it's locked. It's worth your time.
Not realized I think of it, but I saw this. In-ground pools, if there's they need to have a cover on it, so if there isn't a cover, let me know, we'll see if I can get one put on. The mesh cover, sometimes it'll kind of dip down and water will get up on it. We need to get the water off of it, and we need to secure it so that it's not dipping down, because that is still a safety issue, so a kid can still fall in there and drown. If the water's come up over that mesh topping. So we need to take care of that, push you will pay for that. Make sure there are gates around the pool, and that they're locked, or if there is a gate around the pool, make sure there's a padlock on it. Try and take a picture of that padlock each time, make sure it is secure.
Do we build covers still? Because I haven't had one lately that's had an in-ground pool.
Yep.
Do we still do the?
Oh, build, I thought you said build.
Build it. The 2 to 6 framing with the concrete wire
A lot of
mesh.
times they're wanting the mesh, they're just wanting the mesh cover over it, like the trampoline type or
Oh,
the
they just want
mesh.
that. Well, we used to do it, we used to frame it with 2 to 6s and then.
Back then, they didn't have the good mesh cover.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
have it now, yeah. Because that mesh cover will actually support a kid if it gets out there on top of it, even though there's nothing underneath it.
But it fills up and you have to keep pumping it down.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do last time.
Yeah.
Once it gets up to the mesh.
Yeah, because inevitably you would pump it down and then the inspector would be there, and it would back up. a
It
little
was like
bit.
every 2 weeks we were pumping it back down.
I think Mary had one where they threw roofing they re-roofed, so they threw the roofing on the pool, right? On the cover, so it made it go down, so it filled up with water, so we didn't hit on that. But she actually had to go out and remove all that, and pump the water, and then stretch it out, re-secure it, because it came loose a little bit. So, yeah, just make sure that it is secure while you're there.
It's an in-ground, don't pump it dry.
Yeah.
Right.
We had one in Ohio, the guys said, no, it's pumped, it was fiberglass, pretty fast. They pump right out. So don't pump this. Usually if you take it down to the, what do you call where the water flows through?
The skimmer.
Yeah.
Skimmers. Yeah, take it out of there, that's usually not far.
I want to kind of reiterate again on exterior, make sure that you're picking up all of the debris in the yard before you mow. Don't mow over it. Check the yards, make sure the houses are in sellable condition. They want them to either match the condition of the neighborhood or exceed it. Yeah, they're not wanting the houses to look bad or to look empty or like their corporate house. They want them to look nice, they want them to sell, they want them to shine, and we need to do the best we can. We can't always, some of the houses are pretty bad, but we can do what we need to do to at least get it up to where they're wanting.
Be proud of the job that they're
Yeah.
doing.
And they're paying for so much more now. If you have a question about it, let me know. And I can look into it. If you give me the address, I can give you a guesstimate, pretty accurate on what they're gonna pay for that specific job. But,
So it all varies by the area too?
yeah.
Really?
It's not usually a lot. It could be like 20 cents or 50 cents, it's not a lot, but it does vary. So I can get a ballpark. And if I tell you something and I forget, just remind me. because I do forget. I go through a little bit. That's kind of like why I like emails, because it is in the email. I can remember usually a little bit easier. On the limbs and the bushes, just make sure they're all cut down. Everything's weeded out. They want everything to look nice and fresh and new. We've gotten a lot of hits recently on shrub need trimmed or trees need trimmed or those low-hanging limbs. So we need to make sure we get that. Another thing, the late work orders. There's a lot of late work orders. If you guys can get those caught up, I'd appreciate it. Or let me know when it'll be done. We need to get a little bit better on the time it's taken for the work orders. Trash outs, you guys are pretty good with the trash outs. Like I said earlier, a day or two after the due date, you guys, that's an exception. You usually have them done before the due date. But if we could just tighten that up a little bit. PCRs, with every redemption rekey, I send out a PCR. Please fill that out. Put down anything that you think is going to be needed at the trash out. The number of cubic yards you think there are. If smoke detectors are going to be needed, how many. Carbon monoxide detectors. Carpet should be removed or shampooed. If there's going to need to be handrails. We already do boardings. I'm trying to think of other things that can be on there. If a dehumidifier is going to be needed, just put that on there. And like I said earlier, when I get the trash out request from the realtor, I pull up that PCR and I look on there, and I will send work order for what I can, and I'll check with the realtor and get your work order later. But that'll stop you guys from making repeat visits to the house. You can get it taken care of because you'll know right then what's going to be needed. And if you ever have any questions about it, let me know. You all have the after hours number, correct? I monitor my emails. They come to my phone. I monitor them even when I'm not in the office. But if you call the office and I don't answer, you can call the after hour number or shoot me an email. Sometimes I am in the office. I'm on the phone, so I won't answer. But just call the after hour number. If you guys need it, does everybody have it? Just send me an email and I'll get back with you.
I think it's time for us to listen to that.
Yeah.
What can we do to make your job easier? What can we make corrections if it's necessary, if we can? In other words, I guess it's a two-way street. We have to live together. So what can we do? What can we do? What can we change? We won't hold it against you.
Dehumidifiers need to go up in price.
Dehumidifiers?
I buy one, it's $200, and I gotta buy the hose, and then I pay $240,
Yeah.
and we're doing a lot of them, so.
You're talking about primarily in the basement?
Yeah.
Let's check on this, but at one time we were told those are ours, not theirs. You believe them? Go back and get it.
If we know it's going to close, sometimes we don't.
Yeah, sometimes
it closes.
Sometimes we don't find out until a week after it's closed.
As soon as we know, we let you know, but we're the same way, we don't know.
Right.
But if there's an opportunity for you to get back in.
Yeah, and they disappear a lot.
And I also, I don't know where you get your locks from.
In that fence.
Ask them about the humidifiers. I got a deal on them one time. I had to buy about 10 of them. But they were so much cheaper. You might ask them if they've got any specials.
And what's the size requirement then? 30 or 40?
I didn't hear you.
Height, how big? Is it 30 or is it 40?
How many pints?
For the dehumidifier, I don't know. I'll have to find it. At one time it was 40.
I thought it was 40, and now the 30s are 170 and the 40s are up above 200.
Yeah, I think it's still the same, but we can find out if you want.
Yeah.
There's a requirement on it. They never put one on this, as far as I know. They just want to be dehumidified, that's all. We ride in and ask them.
Probably don't have.
I see those at
Internet.
flea markets and garage sales all the time too. humidifiers for $20 and $30 that can
Oh,
do
gosh,
us those things
that'd
up.
be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you need to make sure they're in good condition too.
Yeah.
I think we can bill extra for the hose. I was gonna look and see, but I don't have internet access.
I keep all my garden hoses at trash house,
Yeah,
because you're gonna use them for a dehumidifier, so.
there's a lot of stuff you can keep,
Oh.
trash outs. Yeah.
Just make sure you hook a hose up to it and don't just leave it going into the bucket because it gets filled pretty quick.
And make sure it's not sitting on the floor when the hose is going up. That's happened quite a bit.
Yeah.
We'll be back with you on that,
Yep.
so we get an answer. Anything else?
You got awful quiet.
Hopefully we'll take advantage of all these numbers. With trash out, that's enormous. I was ready to close the office on it. I was 10 years younger. Go out and start, but it was a blessing. We worked a long time for nothing. It's time to get somebody out of this. But when you walk on that property and it's all finished and you look around, is this a property that you buy? Is there a problem here that you want to get corrected before you buy it? If there is, let's get rid of it. Because hopefully, once we get done, that realtor's going to list it. And it's going to, people are going to get out there. So it's up to us to make sure that it's presented.
There are some small repairs that they're allowing us to do also, like if light fixtures need to be changed. I have to get approval for that. But if you think it needs to be changed, let me know and give me a price. And we can see about getting approval on that. I'm trying to think. There's some other little bit, the tearing down of the garages and stuff, they're letting us do those now in the sheds.
If you got a garage with the garage door, the overhead door is missing, go get yourself some plywood and get it done. You don't have to get permission for that.
Rolling door they have to be secure. That's a big hit on our inspection if the house is not secure.
Our shed doesn't have, we got dinged, it was hard, but it didn't have a padlock on the shed.
Yeah, they grade us by percentages, and if you get less than 75%, it's a failure. And you don't want failure, because if you have two or three of those, they're going to replace you, not the universe. So we have to make sure it's in our line. The last one we got was 75%, so we were okay. We got very close to getting below that. But then again, we were asked, don't you guys make, aren't they aware that they can make more money by doing this and that? And that's when the state of Blooming was talking about, was the vice president that started this whole property preservation thing back in 2001 or whatever it was. He was instrumental in coming up with these numbers, 75%. Luckily, he's the one that graded us, so I think we got a little gift.
He likes this.
But we just want to make sure the money is there, take advantage of it. And it's an emergency, just do it. And we'll pay you and then we'll go after everybody else. Fair enough? What else? What else can we, anything else we can change? You probably know this is my son back here. This is my daughter here.
Family business.
I'd love to retire, so.
He's trying, poor guy. But, I mean, yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, because I've been doing this, I've been working in the office since 2008, so sometimes you're doing the same thing year after year after year. It's hard for you to think outside the box, so if you can think of anything that we can do to improve it, just let me know,
By the way, she started off with her husband, trashing houses. 7 years, and Daniel did too. They didn't come right into the office. They first got out there, got their hands dirty.
And when I
Still do.
came down, and when I came into the office, I started like checking pictures. I worked my way up. No free ride. You have to earn your spot.
Well, that's all, I guess, what we have. If you guys don't have anything, we're open to comments.
Yep. If you don't want to say anything, just shoot me an email.
If you can't get a hold of Debbie, I think you all have my cell phone number. You can call me anytime. I may or may not be able to answer it, but I might be able to get a hold of Debbie and get you an answer pretty quick.
the emergency line goes to my phone. So, yeah, if you call the emergency line, I don't answer, I call you back, and it's another 317 number, it's me. So, make sure you answer.
I just want to thank Wetberry. I've raised a family, I've lived well, I've worked for it, but
Yeah.
thank you.
And a good relationship with all of the people. There have been one or two stinkers out there, but that you run into that when you talk about large numbers. And, we were talking a while ago how during this period from about 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, up until now, it's constantly decreased, but now we're starting to go back up in numbers. Very numbers, you said, we have more. We were doing, back in the busy time, we were doing around 3,000 dollars maintain. I don't want that again. That was way too much. And a lot of families that put out, without a home.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And we did way too many evictions too.
Those are picking up too. We've had probably 5 or 6 in the last month.
But the good thing about them now, it seems like they're vacant.
Yeah.
Once back then, we were moving families out that, so.
Well, we're being a little considerate too. We've had a couple where we've showed up to do, I think you may have been one of them, we showed up to do the eviction and the person is still there and for whatever reason, I think one of them, the guy had just gotten out of surgery, he was an older man, just got out of heart surgery and they postponed it. They let him stay there for a couple more months so he could recover and find a place. So they're not being heartless and just kicking him out, which,
He was
I mean, they're still
he was
using
still
their
there
house.
when we went back.
Was he? Is that the one that was sitting there watching Netflix?
Yeah. And he stood across the street on his other property and watched.
Well, we found that Freddie Mac does not, they'll do anything they can to avoid negative publicity. And it's been kind of nice working for a company like that. They will back off and we'll do whatever is necessary to help the people out. We had tremendous numbers of foreclosures back then. And I know in one case, we had a little girl come down on the trike and she could have a little doll in his room. It was a stuffed animal. And we said, she said, well, then I gave it to him. I said, well, that is hers. They were just up the street. Where they're taking the little girl stuff. We gave it to her, of course, with all of her other toys. We got into situations like that. And it's not pleasant. Do what you can to make it work.
I thought of what I was gonna say earlier that I forgot.
Yeah.
He was talking earlier about if there's firewood that's left and the neighbor wants it, make sure it's gone by the time you're done with the house. Don't leave it there and then say, it's done, it's complete, because that, he may never come back, or she may never come back and get the stuff, and it'll sit there.
We've had that happen too.
Yeah, yes, we have. And, if for some reason you can't turn in pictures that night when something is done, just shoot me an email and let me know it's done, at least, and that way I can at least let the realtor know it's done, so she can get started on what she needs to do. Especially on the trash outs and the de-winterizations, they can let the inspector know that it's done and they can go do what they need to do. Don't want to hold them up.
Well, again, thanks to you guys.
Yes, thank you.
It's up to you, so if you have any problems, you guys can take care of them. Eventually it comes back to me. Anyhow, they were so fun. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again, Bill. 19 years old.